Today we're going to do a little different video. We're going to do a little automotive video here. My wife's little 2018 Ford Escape. We're going to be changing out this little screen right here to a larger screen. I don't know why they don't put something bigger in these things, but it's so small you can't even hardly see nothing on it. But it's only about the size of a business card, if that gives you any idea. But let me, we'll unbox this thing and see what we got here. Well, alright, here's the box that came in. I don't have my tripod or nothing. I'm still trying to find stuff where we moved a few months back. So let me get her all opened up here and then I'll show you what we got. Alright, here's what all we got. Got some more wiring harnesses here. Got some little tools that we take the covers off of the dash with up there, and this will be a new cover that will fit over the top up there that replaces where the other unit's at. And this is their new screen. Look how big this thing is. This is gonna be nice right here. All right, and also give you a new little dash piece, but yeah, we will have to use this, but there's the front cover there stays. But alright, we'll get started popping this thing apart and we'll go from there. Alright, as you can see, I've started popping this out. You just take these little tools and it just pops up. It's got little clips, and you will take it and just keep working it around and popping the other clips out. And let me just keep working at it. I'll get her loose and come back to you. Okay, I got these worked out. That just pops right off. So that gets that part off. Now, if I remember correctly, we got to pull this little mat out, and you'll have some screws here. And then I think there's a couple of screws back here that we will get a hold of too as well. All right, let me get to work on them, and I'll come back to you. Okay, I got my little, what is this, 7mm. Take these two screws out right here, and then I think there's a couple back here, little star-headed bolts. I had to, this is about a week later, I had to stop because I couldn't find my little star head sockets. Since we recently moved, I have still got stuff in storage and can't find half of my stuff. Hopefully stuff will change here soon and get our old house sold and get a shop put up over here where I can get everything over here and be done with it. Alright, let's see if this should pop this up now. Let's get a different one. Keep easing her up. I bet I may have to take that other loose first. Yeah, I'll have to take that other loose. Let me find the little Torx bit for that, and we'll get it popped out. I think the one snake. Yeah. Alright, this thing here's a little bit tricky to get to. You can't see nothing. Get these two screws right here out. And we should be making better progress. Yep, little star head screws. Just hang on to everything there in case we have to have it again. I don't think we will, but see, that should give us just slide right out of there. Let me get that out of the way. I don't think there's any screws left under that. It holds that in there. That's what I just unplugged this dude, because we're not gonna need it. And it seems like there's some kind of a funny little clip to get this dude off. Let's see if I can find it. Alright, I had to pause there for a minute. It's got a real hard push and then that pops loose. So that gets you. That's all the screen that this thing had on it. That's about the size of a business card. And I mean, it's alright to look at backing up with, but I mean, you have to really be looking close, because you can't see a lot out of it. Ah, we got one more screw right there in the middle of this thing. If it's a Torx, I can't see. Nope, that's a regular socket. That little 7mm again. Wish they would just use all one thing instead of back and forth. Alright, that popped out. Now, from what I've studied, these little clips that's on this panel and the panel we took off up here, you're going to want to save them from what I have studied on it, because I don't think the new covers come with it. Alright, so now we're down to getting this part out. And we got some screws here, some more 7mm screws. Got 2 here and 2 right here. I disconnected the battery cable on this thing before I started, just in case you didn't want to hit anything or make a spark. These computers, you don't want to short nothing out on them. Alright, back to our little tools again. Yeah, you got a couple little clips right there you got to mash in too. I just noticed that. Just don't get in any kind of hurry. Just take your time. So you don't want to break nothing. That's something my dad taught me growing up. I worked on cars with him growing up. Alright. Now here, you're gonna, end up keeping this part here from what I understand. So if you want to, you just let this hang down out of the way, or you could unplug it and plug it back up. It's whatever. I'm gonna probably just unplug it and set it to the side, and that way I'll have to just plug it back up later. Alright, your radio unit here, it comes out because you got the new one that takes its place. I think it's got a couple of screws in it, I think. No, we didn't pull the screws out, so it should just pull right out and unplug. Okay, I had to pause you there for a minute. I couldn't show you these plugs, but here's the plugs right here that plugs into this radio. I couldn't get to them because I was back here behind the wires not that long. Then I get to the antenna plugs. Well, there's two of them on here. One of them's for satellite radio, and one of them's for your AM and FM radio. And so I had to Google that, and it says the grayish black looking one is your AM FM radio. The mustard color one, which is that one, is for your satellite radio and GPS. And this new, I've started putting plugs on here. This new one has a GPS plug. It'll plug in up here. And here's your little microphone that plugs on it too, as well, for the hands-free feature it has on it. And this is your GPS that will mount up here on the dash. Alright, I'm going to pause you for a minute and get some of this stuff unraveled, and we'll come back. Okay, here's two plugs right here that will plug back in to these factory plugs that I unplugged out of the radio. So we will have that, and then this one that plugged in off of the other camera, it plugs into here. Once I plug this, it says camera in, camera out. You plug that together, it plugs into here in a little plug. That will plug into that. So now, let me get all this stuff situated here and get this part mounted, and I'll bring you back here in just a minute. Alright, I'll bring you back in here. Alright, I got that plugged up. Plugged all my extra little plugs here up. Now, for the microphone, you got one plug right there. These here are if you're going to put in some kind of extra stereo speakers and stuff, because it's got front, out, in, front camera. If you want to add extra cameras to the car, you can. It's got all kind of like auxiliary plugs and stuff. We're not going to need that because we're not doing any of that stuff. So, I got my antenna plugged in right here. Now I just got to get these plugged in here to the factory harness, and we should be able to put her in place. Alright, let me give you a break here. Okay, folks, I'll bring you back in here. I had a little bit of a time off camera here getting these wires rerouted around through here to the back and getting this lined up in here, but it wasn't too bad. We get these screws in here now that we took out from the old one, and then we're gonna start trying to test everything and make sure everything works. And this also has a USB port, which we've already got one down here on the car, and it's all plugged in, so it should work. I'm gonna test all that and make sure. And but I just went ahead and hooked it up because I knew it'd be hard to hook up once I got it all in there. When I get all this tidied up real good, when I get done, we'll come back and see how she does. Okay, folks, back over here on this thing this morning. I got it all set up. I had to work on this thing a little bit. It got dark on me and we quit last night. But there's your time, and you can hit that, go in here, set your time and date and everything if you need to do any changes. Back to home page. This is some music that's already programmed in, or you can actually download some music into it. Bluetooth, pair your device, your phone into it. Then your music will be down here. This here, let's see, where's my apps. I got to get back to home page, I guess. Oh, but the button I needed. We played with this thing last night. Me and my wife did, and was kind of getting aggravated with it. But they don't send you no instructions, and you have to get online and start hunting and stuff. But we kept playing with it, and finally figured out how to change your radio stations and program them in and everything, and got it where we could get her set up and everything, and change different stations on it. There's a search where you can search and scan your stations. Stop. We've already programmed stations in it that we listen to. It's around our area. But this is pretty nice. We like it. It's just been kind of aggravating, like I say, doing the setup on it, because they don't give you no instructions. But to go in here and do some changes, I had to go into the factory, because when I put it in reverse to use the camera, let me show you what it did. It's displaying right now, but it was all distorted. You couldn't even see nothing back there. So I had to go in there, and I had to get on there. I bought this thing from Amazon. I got on there and asked the chat bot on there how to change it. And they said, oh yeah, sure, you can still use your original camera. And I had to go in here to the settings, factory settings, and it give you a number to put into it, and then here you come up to a menu of stuff, and then it told me something to hit a settings button, but it didn't even list it. So I finally started hitting some buttons, and here I found it right here. It's got all these extra cameras on here too. Let's see, reverse video resolution settings. So I set it to this lowest one, and that worked perfect, because it was set on like 25 or something like that, and that just didn't work. So I got one other issue that I'm having, and hope it irons itself out, is the temperature. This has dual climate control in this car. It's showing everything displayed in Celsius, and I'm trying to figure out how to get it to Fahrenheit, because we don't use Celsius around here in Alabama. So I'm trying to get that figured out. I went back into there and did a change on the settings to it that got me, where was it at? Temperature unit. And I've got it set to Fahrenheit. It was on Celsius. I set it to Fahrenheit, but it hasn't changed. I'm hoping it will change after we drive around for a day or so and see what happens. Cancel that. I don't know what that is. But we're fixing to put everything back together on this thing now, and go from there. And I'll get back to you here in a minute when we get all my stuff together here. Okay, as I think I told when we started this video, these clips right here on the old panels that goes on top, you have to reuse them, because they don't give you none on the new ones. So we'll pop these dudes off and put them on here, and same way on this front faceplate, we got to take the clips off of it as well. Let me get these popped off here. Okay, off camera I started kind of popping these things off and put them on this new plates. Let me get this other one, I'll show you. Pretty simple. Take this little forked tool and just get up underneath there, and let me get it from the other side where I can get you where we see here. We ain't got a lot of room in here to see anything. Pop that one up and do the same thing on the other side. Oh, this one's gonna be a little more tricky here because it's got that lip. I got a lip in there to deal with. I don't know if you can see me. Let me pause you a minute and get my better angle. Alright, we're gonna try this again. I'll get these off here. Up right there. Just pop them right off of there. Just be careful, don't break them. They're in no hurry. Let me pop them all out, rest of them off here, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, I got them all loose here. I'm gonna pop it. They just snap right back on there in place. About all cars are made of anymore is plastic. Alright, let's get this piece right here back on here first. And get him snapped down in there. Wait a minute, I think I make sure I got all the bolts. Nope, I had 2 screws right here. Let me put them back in there first. That helped this on, even though it's got clips in it, I still put them 2 screws in there. I don't want to get in trouble for something rattling in the dash. I want to stay on the good side of my wife. Don't want to get in the doghouse. You know how in U.S. marriage, you know how they can be. I try not to get in the doghouse. Alright, now. Let's see, I think. Yep, this has got to slip down in there. You got some little hooks here in front. You got to slide it down in there first, then snap it in there. That one. Here's my little GPS. I got the sticky. It's got a sticky adhesive piece on it. We'll stick it right back here, underneath here. Oh wait, let me get I got a little alcohol wipe here. We will address that with. And we can peel that and stick that down there. I was holding off till the end to make sure everything was going to be fine before I done that. In case I had to send this thing back. Let me get all this cleaned up here. Okay. I got the microphone. I just brought it out and this clips had a clip on it. So I just clipped it right there. Maybe I won't get in too much trouble for that. I don't know where else to put it. I was trying to find a place. I thought I could hide it down there, but that didn't look out right. So, I don't know. We'll see what she says. And I can always pop this stuff off pretty easy, and we can try to find another place. So, all right, down to the final piece. I got the wires strapped up in there. And that's it. That's a done deal. Let me get the camera out here, get you a better look at this. It kind of looks a little brighter than the dash, but it's because this thing sits out in the sun, and it's probably faded. But other than that, it's looks like it's factory done. All right. Remember to like and subscribe, and give us a thumbs up on this video, and watch any of our other videos that we have out there on the Jimmy Bear Hill DIY. Thanks for watching, and have a Happy New Year. Thank you.